Hello.
Okay, our final speaker for the session is Mares-Davila, who is from the University of Arizona and who did his internship this summer here at Georgia Tech.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mares-Davila. Our research this summer focused on the optimization of hybrid fuel cell designs and materials. Hybrid fuel cells produce electricity by means of an electrochemical reaction. There are many different chemicals that can be used to produce the electricity. The most common are oxygen, hydrogen, and methanol. Hybrid fuel cells could be used to power vehicles, small electronic devices such as phones. They could also be used as an off-the-grid power supply in remote locations such as space. Hybrid fuel cells have the potential to provide quiet, zero emissions, and efficient energy without the need for a water management system. Hybrid fuel cells also use fuel tanks, which means they do not need to be recharged. Some problems with hybrid fuel cells are that they have expensive platinum catalysts, they have low performance values, and the anion exchange membrane is not durable. Research goals. The main focus of our research was on the interface material, which is positioned between the PEM and the AEM. This region is important because it provides adhesion between the PEM and the AEM, and water is formed here when hydrogen and hydroxide ions combine. Two hybrid fuel cells were assembled, each with a different interface material. In hybrid fuel cell 1, the interface material was a neutral liquid. In hybrid fuel cell 2, the interface material was an ionic liquid. Electrochemical analysis, such as voltammetry, impedance spectroscopy, and chronoamperometry were performed on both cells to determine which interface material performed better. On the right, you can see a picture of butyl-methyl-imidazolium hydroxide. It is the ionic liquid interface material being tested. It is the first time that this has been tested in a hybrid fuel cell. Important fuel cell materials. The proton exchange membrane, also known as a PEM, only conducts hydrogen ions. We tested two interface materials in our research. The first was a neutral liquid, which interacts with hydrogen and hydroxide ions. The second was an ionic liquid, which only conducts hydroxide ions. The anion exchange membrane, also known as an AEM, only conducts hydroxide ions. When you combine elements from a PEM and an AEM, you form a hybrid fuel cell. How does a fuel cell work? The fuel cell that I worked on used hydrogen and oxygen as fuel. The picture on the left shows a hybrid fuel cell and how hydrogen and hydroxide ions travel through it. Hydrogen and hydroxide ions travel through hybrid fuel cell 1 and hybrid fuel cell 2 in the same manner until they reach the interface material. In hybrid fuel cell 1, the neutral liquid interface material interacts with hydrogen and hydroxide ions, and water is formed between the PEM and the AEM. In hybrid fuel cell 2, the ionic liquid interface material only conducts hydroxide ions, and water forms between the PEM and the interface material only. To make hybrid fuel cell 1, the anode was sprayed with PEM solution, the cathode was sprayed with AEM solution, and the PEM was sprayed with neutral liquid. The layers were then stacked on top of each other and put into the hot press to bond the layers together. To make hybrid fuel cell 2, the anode and the cathode were sprayed with the same solutions, but the PEM was sprayed with an ionic liquid. The layers were then stacked on top of each other and put into the hot press to bond the layers together. Here's a picture of the fuel cell that we worked on. The end plates hold everything together. The copper plates conduct electrons. The graphite plates guide the flowing gas. The hybrid fuel cell is at the center. It is very thin and hard to see. After assembling the fuel cell, we connected it to a test station, which controlled the relative humidity, temperature, and gas flow. We also connected the fuel cell to a potentiostat, which was used to perform electrochemical analysis. Here we can see the voltammetry results for hybrid fuel cell 1. On the left side of the y-axis is the voltage. On the right side is the power density. On the x-axis is the current density. The blue line is the voltage, and the red line is the power. The max current density for hybrid fuel cell 1 was 28 milliamps per centimeter squared. The max power density for hybrid fuel cell 1 was 3.9 milliwatts per centimeter squared. Here are the results for hybrid fuel cell 2's voltammetry. Hybrid fuel cell 2 produced 38 milliamps per centimeter squared and a power density of 5.1 milliwatts per centimeter squared. Hybrid fuel cell 2 produced 1.2 milliwatts more than hybrid fuel cell 1 per square centimeter.